everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making taquitos, but being that it's Lent season, we're going to prepare them with a delicious fish filling. Let's get started with the recipe. First, we're going to finely dice 1/4 of an onion and 2 Roma tomatoes. And to add a little bit of heat to the dish, you can also add a couple diced serrano peppers or jalapenos, but those are completely optional. Depending on who I'm cooking for, sometimes I add them and sometimes I leave them out. Usually I just leave it up to the person to add as much spicy salsa as they like when serving their taquitos. Next, we're going to chop 1 pound of cod fish into small bite-sized pieces. You can also use tilapia fish or any other fish of your choice. In a medium pan, heat up 2 to 3 tablespoons of your preferred cooking oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, add in the diced onion and the tomatoes. We're going to saute both of these ingredients for about 5 minutes over medium-high heat or until the tomato has a pasty-like consistency like this. Once it reaches this point, season with black pepper to your liking, salt or tomato or chicken bouillon to your liking. We're going to mix these ingredients and then we're going to add the rest of the seasonings. 1 teaspoon of Mexican oregano, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of New Mexico chili powder, and about 1/4 of a teaspoon of cumin. Mix in the seasonings, then add in the fish. Mix in the fish until it's well coated with the rest of the ingredients. And then add 1 tablespoon of flour. The flour is going to help to thicken everything up, and it's going to help to lose less of the filling when frying your taquitos. Mix in the flour and simmer for an additional 7 to 10 minutes or until most of the broth has simmered down. At this point, we're going to remove it from the burner and we're going to set it aside while we prepare the dressing for the taquitos. To prepare the dressing for the taquitos, we're going to use equal amounts of sour cream and mayonnaise. I'm using Lala Mexican sour cream and McCormick mayonnaise, but you can use any brand of your choice. The juice from 1 small lemon, or about 1/3 of a cup to 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. Add a little bit at a time until it reaches the consistency that you prefer. Season with a little bit of salt and pepper to your taste. And lastly, 1/3 of a cup to 1/4 of a cup of chipotle sauce. Mix all these ingredients until they're well combined and it has a nice smooth consistency. When making taquitos, I personally like mine extra cheesy. So before we begin to prepare the taquitos, I'm going to mix in 1 cup of Chihuahua cheese. You can also use queso Oaxaca, Monterey Jack, or any other melting cheese of your choice. And now for the tortillas. For this recipe, you can use flour or corn tortillas. You can heat them up individually on a comal, or you can wrap them with a clean paper towel and place them in the microwave for about 30 to 45 seconds or until they're nice and pliable. Finding the right tortilla when making taquitos can be a little bit difficult, depending on where you live. When making taquitos, I personally like to use the Arizona brand because those tortillas fry up a lot quicker than any other tortilla out there because they're especially made for taquitos and tostadas, and they're a lot thinner than regular tortillas. I'm going to make a combination of corn and flour tortillas. The flour ones are considered flautas, but we're going to prepare a combination of both tortillas. When rolling up your taquitos, roll them up very tightly and place them on a plate with the flap down. Gently press down on the taquito so it doesn't roll apart. A little trick when frying your taquitos, don't overfill your pan with oil. Add just enough oil to where we can fry the outer part of the taquito. Begin by placing the taquitos with the flap down into the oil and gently press down on the taquito and hold it for a few seconds so it doesn't roll apart. When you add too much oil to the pan, once you add your taquitos, the filling is going to start to come out into the oil. And you don't want that because then you're going to have all these little bits of burnt filling in the oil. And then those burnt fillings are going to stick to your taquitos and they're not going to look very attractive. So add just a small amount to fry the outer part of the taquito. And do a few at a time so you can keep a close eye on all of the taquitos. Turn them every 15 to 20 seconds or until they're nice and crispy and golden on all sides. You can also prepare them in the air fryer by brushing a little bit of vegetable oil on the taquitos or using a cooking spray and placing them in the air fryer for about 8 to 10 minutes. If you prepare some with flour tortillas, fry those one at a time because those fry up a lot quicker than the corn tortillas. Serve these delicious taquitos right away while they're still nice and warm, and top them off with your favorite toppings: lettuce or cabbage, tomato, onion, avocado, and we're going to generously drizzle with that delicious chipotle dressing that we prepared. And top it off with your favorite red or green salsa. And now my husband's going to do the taste test. I tasted these taquitos as I was making them, and I can't even begin to tell you how delicious these taquitos turned out. I hope you try this recipe for your family, and if you do, let me know what they think. Thank you for watching the video, and make sure to leave us a comment and a thumbs up so we can continue to share more videos like this one. Thank you for watching, and join us in our next video where we will be sharing a completely new recipe.